Good afternoon. How are you? My name's Linda McAfee. I teach first grade at Tanny Hill Elementary this year. I'm excited for this interview, and we're going to be talking about introducing subtraction to my first graders. My standards are solve addition and subtraction problems up to 10 in real world and mathematical context. 1N.2.1 represent and solve real world and mathematical problems. Determine if equations involving addition and subtraction are true, and demonstrate fluency with basic addition facts and related subtraction facts up to 10. These are mine. Okay. Normally what I would do with my first graders, we would talk about subtraction and what subtraction means. We would do some addition problems and talk about how to, the opposite of that. I would do all kinds of things, hands-on things or visual things. I'm a very visual learner. And like I would line up 5 boys and make one boy go out in the hall, and we would take away that, and I would show them in real life how that would affect, how that a subtraction would work. We'd do other things like chairs, desks, pencils. I would have them find stuff around the room, stuff in their desk, stuff in their backpacks that they could show how to take away. We would also talk about the different kind of words that surround subtraction: minus, take away, the equal sign. I would make sure I would put on the board and show them visually what everything means and what it looks like. That's the most important thing with first grade, is what it looks like. We would add and subtract, demonstrating fluency for addition. And by this point of the year, they are pretty good about the fluency of their addition and knowing what the addition sign means. I would probably, after giving the lesson, we would get into groups of the differentiated. That's how I would differentiate. I would bring them back to my table, the approaching level, the on level, and the beyond level. And we know we have all of those in the classroom. I have these papers that I do from a teacher that I love on Teacher Pay Teacher called Mr. Raff. And we would do these papers where you fill in the boxes 5 and then you take 3 away. There's all kinds of these. I would put these on the smart board and we would do these together. I love this one. I just love it. I think it's so, it just really shows how you have 10, you have 10, you take away 2. I think that's great. And I think this is, it's so important, like I mentioned earlier, the visual part of learning and seeing things. Of course, we would try to find missing parts. I would say we had 10, 3 of them were over here. What's the missing part? How many are left? That's very important to know that. If you have 8 girls, you have 16 pairs of shoes. You took a girl away with 2 of those shoes. I mean, it's endless the things you can do to show and take away. And I love that about the lower elementary, is that everything's fun, everything is visual and bright, and they have to see it. We have all kinds of things in our classroom. We have blocks, we have little cars, we have Legos, Lincoln Logs, so many things that we could put together. And I would bring those back to the table, especially for those lower learners or those that aren't on level yet. And visually, I would have them do that. I also have things right now that I can use to supplement, which is Math Seeds, which is part of Reading Eggs. It's so amazing. And they talk to you, they tell you, and you can do it on your own. Those would be good for the below level and the special needs. It would also be good for the ELL learners. An interactive digital lesson I wouldn't want that to be on there the whole time. I wouldn't want them to be on there the whole time, but it would help a lot. Let's see, objectives. They'd be able to solve problems by finding missing parts. Use subtraction to find a missing part of 9 when one part is already known. We just talked about that. Write and solve subtraction number sentences. I would also do that on my my smartboard. I would show them what a subtraction sentence is. We would work that out together. The parts that it has to have to be an equation, a full true equation. We would talk about what's true and what's not. I might put up there 6, 2, 3, and they would know that that's not a true, complete subtraction sentence or any kind of sentence. All the parts that goes in to make a subtraction sentence: the number, the subtraction symbol, the other number, the equal sign, the answer. Fact families are a great part of this. I do a lot of fact families with the 3 numbers at the top: 6, 2, 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 take away 2 is 6. 8 take away 6 is 2. It goes to show the parts you have to have when you're doing any kind of addition or subtraction sentence. I have found in my classroom, especially not only with the above board learners and the average learners and the below learners, they can do that and they get it in their mind. They know what the true sentence is. We would write sentences. We would write addition and subtraction facts. That's my fact family right there. And this is all right here on my lesson plan. Use counters. I just said that we would use blocks and pencils and Legos and Lincoln Logs and cars. Everything I have over here in my buckets would be great for that. After that, I would walk around and observe them doing these Mr. F math papers. We would do in a day or two after we learn the skill, learn what all makes up a subtraction sentence. I would give a small assessment on that. I might send home several for homework to show, so they just get used to taking away. You know, my biggest one that I always talk about is, you know, if I had 6 hamburgers and I ate 4 of them, what's left, you know? And they can see that because they do that in their real life. They eat hamburgers, and that's the most important thing, is making it real to them, making it true to them, making it something that they've seen and done. I've learned over my 28 years of teaching that that's the most important thing, is to make it real for them, make it live for excuse me, a whole day of teaching here. You just have to make it where they can understand it and see it in real life time. All right, thank you so much. I hope to talk to you soon.